Hi there, my name is James Rampant, and today I'm going to show you how I make my story maps for my Japanese classes. So first of all, I'm going to put in my sentence, and I'm just going to take the title text box for the default slide, put it down to what size I need it to be, and I'll start typing my text. And in this story, I'm going to say neko wa, the cat is, isu, chair, no ue ni imasu. So the cat is on the chair. I'm going to left justify that, and I'll highlight this and change the font to UD Digi Kyokusho, which is a Kyokusho means textbook, and so it's an education font and is really good for teaching students Japanese, like writing. So I've got my sentence. The next thing I need to do is put icons above each of these words, because a lot of my students can't read Japanese yet, so they need a bit of scaffolding, and so this lets students still read the sentence and understand what it means without necessarily being able to read the writing. So I'll go over to my browser and I go to this website, thenounproject.com, and I'll type in cat, which is the first word of my sentence. This one looks good. So I'll click on that. What I'd like to do, rather than copy off this, use the copy button, because that will take this whole area, which I don't want. So I'll use Windows Shift S, okay, to bring up the screenshot toolbar, and I'll just select what I need, and that's all I need from this image. So I'll go back, paste that in, and put it over the first word in my sentence. Okay, the next word is wa. Wa means is in Japanese, or not really, but it's like it. And this one, because it's kind of intangible, I will just use the gesture that I have my students do for this, and the gesture is just an open palm. So I'll take that icon, okay, and paste that in, and shrink it down to be in size with the other icons. All right, isu means chair, so I need a chair. And some of these are kind of, I think for a younger audience, would be hard to decipher. So I'm looking for something that's really easy to understand as a chair, and this one looks pretty good. So I'll take a picture of that, take a screenshot of that, and paste it in. Shrink it down. I'm going to be very careful not to cut off any of my writing. All right, the next word is no. No means belongs to in Japanese, because in this sentence, on top of belongs to the chair. So for that one, because it's another intangible one, I usually use a hand that's grabbing something, because grabbing the thing it belongs to. This one looks good, but it's quite a long arm. I don't need the whole thing, which is why it's good to do this screenshot method. And I'm making it small there because I'm going to have the thing it's grabbing, which is just going to be a circle. Okay. Next is ue ni, and I might keep using the PowerPoint shapes. So I'll use a square. And that's not the focus of this word. What is the focus of? So is the thing I'm going to put on top, so which is why the square is white. And this is the thing that we're focusing on, so I'm going to keep that colored in and on top. Ni is next, and ni I usually use the peace sign. This one's good. All right, because in Japanese, Ni can mean at or on, but it can also mean to. And then last one, imas, is I want a picture of a person. Okay, because imas means to exist, but it's to exist on something or somewhere for living things. And I use this one because this one is kind of the gesture I have the students make as well. So that's the first part of the verb, and in Japanese, the second part of the verb is the tense. So this one's present tense. I usually have two hands, which is the gesture that I have my students perform. Great. So just from looking at the pictures here, even if you cannot read Japanese, you can see cat, you can see chair, you can see on top of, and then I've just got other symbols for certain parts of language that appear in my sentence. But it's not very visually appealing, so I'm going to have up here a picture of what's going on. So I like this website, Irasu Toya. He's a Japanese illustrator, and he puts out a lot of images that just the general public can use, commercial free, and especially for education purposes, it's fine to use a lot of his images. So I'll get a chair first, and I'll right click, I'll copy that, go back into PowerPoint, paste. Oh, it's kind of the perfect size as well. And now I need a cat. So I'll search for cat. This looks like a good one. And I'll copy that and paste it in. Resize it to what I need. Excellent. So now I've got the sentence down below and an image up above illustrating what the sentence says. And I'll practice that with my students, doing a gesture for each word in the sentence. Now, at the moment, the story is not very interesting, and more importantly, it doesn't repeat. So I need something that repeats the language a lot in an interesting way so that students can really learn what they need to know for the lesson. So I'm going to duplicate this slide, and I'm going to introduce a new character. I'm going to introduce a mouse. Okay, well, there's some interesting ones there. I think I will get this one. And it looks like part of his tail is cut off, so I don't really want that. So I'm going to click on the proper page for it and see he's got his tail there. So I'll right click on that, I'll go copy, back into PowerPoint, shrink it down, and I'll put the mouse there. But now my sentence doesn't illustrate my picture, so I need to change that up. So instead of neko, I'm going to write Nezumi. Okay, and I can't use this icon anymore. I need to use the one for Nezumi, so I'll go back to the noun project, write mouse. See what comes up. Perfect, this is like a good one. Take a screenshot of that. Paste that in. It's just really quick doing it this method, and as teachers we don't have much time, so I think being able to just make these story maps really quickly is quite handy. Now the mouse is not on top of the chair, it is soba ni, it is beside the chair. So I'm going to put this icon beside the box. But the rest of the sentence is fine, and really, because I've duplicated it, it's just a matter of making sure everything is right above the word. Right, now there's one more part of my story, is the cat has jumped down to eat the mouse. and the mouse has run away. I might have the cat look at the mouse, and just by going rotate, flip horizontal. The mouse can be under the chair, and I might have some speed lines making it look like the mouse is running away from the cat. There we go. And I'll just bring the chair back on top. So now I'm going to have 2 sentences here for the thrilling climax of my story. So I better make some room. And I'll copy all this. I'll drag it up. Ordinarily, I'll try and keep things... so this looks a bit cluttered, but because the picture's illustrating the mouse running away, the mouse underneath the chair, and the cat beside the chair, I really need to have both these sentences here. So I'm going to change Nezumi back to Neko. Oops. So the cat is beside the chair, so I can keep all of these icons now. And I'll go back here and just grab the cat icon. And the Nezumi, the mouse, is underneath the chair. So I'll put the circle underneath there. And Shita is underneath. And there you go. Now I've got this story. It is mildly interesting for the kids to read. And we will repeat that. We'll read this story every lesson that we do this topic. And just reading through it, doing the gestures, a lot of the language, the sentence structure is certainly repeated in each page. Really helps the students retain the information that they need for whatever activities we might do in the lessons to practice the sentence structure. So that's how I make my story maps. I hope it is valuable to you and that you are able to make some interesting stories for your classes.